beautiful people, we're back for another video. Today we're answering the question, how do I get away from sin? How do I get away from sin? Make sure you have your pencil, paper, notepad, all that good stuff. Make sure you take some good notes, okay? Because we're going to answer this question. And I got one word to answer this question. Run. Run as fast as you can, okay? How do you get away from sin? Let's dive in. Please make sure that yes, I'm being like silly when I say run, but like run. Like I'm also being a little serious too. Resist the devil. James 4:7 says resist the devil and he will flee from you. But we got to make sure that we can make it a little bit more practical because we can't always like run. Okay, so 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says this. It says, the temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. And God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, he will show you a way out so that you can endure. We got to make sure that we mature to a space where when we are tempted, because we will be tempted, even Jesus was tempted, right? We will be tempted in this life, in our circumstances. We will be tempted. I'm just letting you know, you will be tempted. But when you are tempted, we have to mature to a place where we are accepting and going and taking the exit strategy that is provided. Bible says here very clearly, everybody's going to be tempted, but you will be given, one, it won't be more than you can stand, or it won't be more than you can endure. And you will have an exit strategy. God will give you an exit or a way out of that temptation. Okay, so here's the thing that you got to make sure you get. You have to understand that your adversary is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. I'm pretty sure you've heard that scripture before. You have to understand the plan of the enemy. Every time, like with anything in sports, you got to have a game plan. You got to make sure that, like, you know, if you're playing this person and you want to make sure you're beating that person, you develop a game plan or a strategy against that person, right? And so you got to understand the plan of your enemy. You got to know yourself, know your limits, know what you're tempted by. Understand that your flesh is always going to be at war with your spirit. And you can reference 1 Corinthians 9. Let me look at it. 1 Corinthians 9:27, which says, I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified. What does it say? Sin is a spiritual battle that fights your flesh. Sin is a spiritual battle that fights your flesh. How do you train your body? You train your body through prayer. You train your body through fasting. You train your body through reading your word. All these things that we've talked about and that you should have going on in your journey right now with God. You got to train your body because those are muscles. The more that your spirit man is stronger, the more that your spirit is stronger, it will be able to fight the flesh, right? Take control of your body. Take control of your flesh. Every day you wake up, make sure you're saying, God, it is you that is living in me. Let my flesh die today. Let my flesh die daily so that I can do what you've called me to do, so that my spirit is what they see and what they hear and what they feel when they see me. Okay? If Paul, who is writing in 1 Corinthians, if Paul, whose sins we read about or we've read about, is saying that he must work his body like an athlete, what makes you think that you are any different? What makes you think that you don't have to work just as hard or even harder to stay away or to hide away or to run away from sin? Here's the thing I want to make sure that you get, and this is what I'm going to leave you with. Resist until you understand that you never have to go back. Resist until you understand that you never have to go back. You do not have to go back to that sinful place. You do not have to go back to the sinful nature. You do not have to go back to that dead place or that dead season of your life. You are now walking and living in a place and You are now on a journey of provision. You are now on a journey with God, and you do not have to go back to where you came from. So I pray that this bless you. I pray that this is for you. I pray that if you can share, like, subscribe, and share it with people that are in your community that are dealing with the same things. I pray that this blesses you, and I pray that you will continue to do your best to run away from sin. Resist until you understand that you never have to go back again. And I'll see you next week. Peace.